Welcome everyone to an arena video. This is Andrea Mengucci. This video is sponsored to you by channelfarball.com and Ultimate Guard. Hello everybody, and welcome to my first reaction video for my YouTube channel. Normally on stream, I talk about every kind of topic that goes hot in Magic, and of course, I wanted to also take care of my new YouTube audience, doing like a more direct video, dedicated video like this, a reaction. So I just updated Arena. It was a pretty large update too. It was a 5 GB. And so here we are. Let's see what happened and what do I think about what happened. So the first is Memory Lapse. It got suspended. A card suspended means that you're not allowed to play it anymore, and they won't give you the wildcard back. They change their mind and they make it legal again. You will nothing happened. If they decide to ban it, they will get your wildcard back, and that's the case for Brainstorm. That's what happened to Brainstorm. It got suspended some months ago, and now they banned it, so you have now the wildcards back. They also banned Tibalt's Trickery. So we're gonna talk about mainly Tibalt's Trickery and Memory Lapse. Those are the two cards that were removed from the game in Historic. Memory Lapse can come back. Tibalt's Trickery will never come back anymore, and so it will be Brainstorm. We got our 8 wildcards back. Cool. So, well, let's just go there. Let's just see what were these decks. Let's see what were these cards. All right. So BO1 Tibalt's Trickery. Okay, so BO1 Tibalt's Trickery. You see it's red. We can't play that anymore. So this is a pretty degenerate deck. For those of you who know, you play a 0-drop, you counter it, and you cast your things for free. This deck was, an old deck. It came out with Kaldheim, so a while back now. And I went to dig through my win percentages with this deck that I had back in the days, and it was 58-50. You'd be like, man, you played over 100 matches with this deck? Yeah, I mean, it's not the best deck in the world. Last played 3 months ago. It was just like 1 or 2 or 3 of to play at the end of the stream, a fun 5 minutes gambling action, I called it, because this deck was very gamble. You had to mulligan down to this combination. It died to basically everything. Sometimes you do the combo and you fizzle because you hit the other piece, you hit the Tibalt's Trickery, or I don't know, you just hit the Mind's Desire, you fizzle, Gen's Ultimatum, and you fizzle. So it was a lot of, just... I would say a lot of fun. On stream, it was a lot of fun, but it's definitely not a great experience. They kept it around because the deck, wasn't particularly good. As you can see, it was a 58-50, and it was only a best-of-1 deck. So they decided to keep it around, but what happened afterwards? Well, they printed this card called the Throes of Chaos, which is a card from Modern Horizons 1, the Cascade. And the Tibalt's Trickery is banned in Modern currently, and because... combos with like Cascade cards, and they just put a Cascade card in Modern, so obviously this happened. This was one of my latest iterations. It actually worked a lot with this deck in BO3 because I wanted to make this deck work in BO3, where main deck, you're just combo deck. If they counter your thing, you'll just become an uncounterable. I called it Teamer Uncounterable plus Cyber. And it actually did fine. We can see in my updated spreadsheet. Sorry, untap.gg that you all can download here. Just do the download thing. You just go Untapped and download. I use this very much. Keeps track of all my win rates. I went 48-22, which was good, which was very good. I used this deck to get to Mythic very quickly last month. In like 3 days, I got to Mythic. The BO1 just kept doing pretty terribly. Yeah, as the people go more and more ready for it. But I was mostly working on this in best of 3. And what happened? Well, they decided that it was enough. It's not very fun, it's not very skill intensive, and it was also good enough. They decided, you know what, Tibalt's Trickery was probably misspelled, we shouldn't have let to counter our own spell, but, we should have only countered my opponent's spell. They decided to just ban it straight up. We'll talk about wording on cards later, but that's a decision. It's fine, I'm not gonna be mad about. I'm mostly not mad about things, just leave with them, and yeah, the Tibalt's Trickery is gone, no more. You won't, probably has been a negative experience to you, which you can get behind. Another card, well, I have a deck build here, but I mostly just deleted the Jeskai Control. that used to play with Memory Lapse. This is another card that played in historic. I don't know. In historic, no. Anyway, Memory Lapse. Where do we go with this? All right, let's cancel this. So Memory Lapse. I just opened this, but this is just a fun little deck that I had. It's not anything serious. It's just a pile. But yeah, Memory Lapse is another card that got banned and or rather suspended. And this is a very good Magic card. Always reminded me of Remand. Just a turn 2 interaction to make the control deck breach into the late game for free. Put a card on top of your opponent deck. They don't get to choose like Ether Dust, where they get to choose, but they just goes on top of the deck. So 2-drop goes on top of the deck, and you continue your game. You make your land drop, and your opponent missed the second land drop. It's not as good as the counter spell, which is, of course, banned in historic, but it was very good for the control decks, which used to discard as their 2-mana interaction. Now they might use Negate, they might use Essence Scatter, they might use Sense or Jawara Disruption, whatever you want. But that like mandatory 4 of Memory Lapse is now gone. That is obviously a hit for the control decks. Memory Lapse is very good. The fact that this card is gone kind of showed us the power of the Mystical Archive card. We had Time War banned, Brainstorm banned, Memory Lapse banned, Faithless Looting is still around here, which I can definitely see Faithless Looting getting a hit eventually as the more, graveyard things get pushed, but here we are. I'm okay with Memory Lapse being banned in historic. Let's talk about other things now. Let's talk about another thing that happened in their announcement, and that is rebalancing cards. What is this? Okay, let's talk about it a little bit here. I don't need to have the Magic Arena client open anymore. But rebalancing things means that they just changed the text of some Magic cards, which never happened before in Magic. You'd be like, yes, man, it happened Companion. It happened in Companion, that is true. Companion also changed the text on Magic cards, but here we are, just taking a look at Davra's Withering. It used to be able to kill your own Vespal Arc and trigger Infinite Thing, and now you can't anymore, because it says an opponent control. And the same thing does Devriel, Soul Broker. It says an opponent control. So the Vespal Arc combo deck, it got banned, but it didn't, except it did it. You won't get back your wildcards for Davriel or for Davriel Withering. Maybe that's a bad thing and they should fix it, but let's keep aside the monetary value of the thing. Sure, they should definitely give back the wildcard that I crafted Davriel Soul Broker to combo with Vespal Arc, and you change the text and wouldn't have crafted it in the first place, so. They will. And that's the thing, they changed this ability because it was comboing with something that they for sure missed it. Like they missed, that Throes of Chaos was comboing with Trickery, and they banned it. Already is not an easy job. They missed this interaction with Vespal Arc. The combo was axed. We move on. Wildcard hopefully will get back. If you are a Magic player, you have to get used for your deck to be banned. But this is a change that's weird to me. Faceless Agent. This card obviously looks pretty random, but it got played. It got played in Shamans. It got played in Elves. I've seen this card casted against me, and they give it a extra boost, 1 extra toughness. Not bad. They realized this card saw play. They realized they wanted to make it better. I like this. Sarkhan, same thing. They realized that it might have been a little bit better. Instead of 0, now you have +1. Sure, let's continue. Subversive Acolyte. It cost black, now it costs 1 of the black. Make it easier to play like a 2-color deck. So all these changes, what do they mean? They mean that the Magic the Gathering is a card that, like, you see a card printed. What card do you have here? You have a card printed. This card won't change. This card will stay like this. But Magic Arena isn't the Magic in paper that we have. And I like this. There's so many formats in Magic. On Arena, maybe there's not that many, but having a format that's now you can adapt cards. So instead of Nexus of Fate, instead of banning it in historic, which is banned, you nerf it. You be like exile itself. Stuff like that. Tibalt's Trickery counter all your opponent cards, just like they did with Davriel's Withering. So they're actually starting a trend on in historic, I think. Maybe it's just going to be only this anthology card, but maybe in the future, in 1 year, if they reprint an Oko, instead of banning it in historic, like they'll ban it in standard, for example, but they will just nerf it for historic. And historic will become this like digital only format, which I can get behind. Ideally, they continue going backward and we'll have Pioneer on Arena. I like that. Just to keep it together with Magic, with like the paper Magic. Whenever we'll have paper events, and Pioneer will become again a third format like it used to be before COVID. So yeah, that's my video today. Basically, I agree with the of memory lapse. I sadly agree with the ban of Tibalt Trickery, although obviously it's not that I'm too mad about it. I like that they start nerfing cards instead of banning them. They could have just said we ban Vespelark. That deck has too big of a win rate. We ban Vespelark. People would have been okay with that. But instead they said, you know what? We're basically banning the deck, but in a different way. They have to get Walker back. We have to, say that, obviously. They need to get Walker back for, maybe not for Sarkhan, because of course this was a positive change, so they won't get the wildcard back for this. But if you make a negative change, then you have to. Well, that's it. I wanted to make a 10 minutes video. I got a little bit more than that. I hope you guys enjoyed. Write in the comments if you agree, disagree. And, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next video. Goodbye.